how does somebody learn to play a raga? In the sense, how do we learn to play the raga Shankaraparanam, or learn to play the raga Malahari or Mayamalagola or Karagarapriya or Kannada or whichever one it is? The answer is a little bit obvious. We learn to play the raga by learning to play the phrases as opposed to the rules alone. In the sense, like, you may be able to play the Arohana and even Avarohana of a particular raga. Of course, based on the Arohana and the Avarohana, when you are given a set of ragas, it is possible to identify if each of those swaras, if it is a ascending or a descending, then apply the Arohana or the Avarohana rule, and then be able to include all the raga slides into an otherwise plain set of swaras. That is possible. For example, Sariga Padhasa, that is for Mohanam, right? And then in this case, when we have a phrase like Gapadhasa, something like that. Gapadhasa, I know that, okay, after Ga comes the Pa, there is no slide for the Pa, but after Pa comes the Tha. When Tha comes after the Pa, it is an ascent, so I have to use the ascent rule for the Tha, which is Pasadha slide or Thasada, the way you look at it. Then hit on the Sa. So I'm given a phrase, I understand if each of those swaras is an ascent or a descent, and then use the ascent or descent rule to include the raga slide and get the final slide, right? But the point is, this is okay as long as we are playing simple compositions. That is one reason why we start with Geethams, right? Geethams are simpler than Varnams. Varnams and all these Kritis and Kirtanams, they have really a lot of phrases which are typical to the raga. And the truth is that if somebody has studied this kind of music for some time, right, the moment you're trying to improvise, it is only natural that basically what is going on is an authentic mix and match of all these phrases which you have already learned in Geethams, Varnams and Kritis and Kirtanams and everything. Why? We can follow the rules. That is a good thing to start with. There is nothing wrong about it. You're very safe also. But the raga slides, they can be beyond these rules, more than these rules. I'm not saying they will go against it. Any of the raga improvisation, they have to be within the scale, within the notes, right? If even when I'm doing the slide for Sariga Pathasa, I'm sticking to that Sariga Pathasa slides. Nothing extra is being taken. Shankaraparanam, or if you play it, I'm still playing just the notes of the particular major scale. I'm not going outside. There are ragas, like for example, when we come down Avarohana of Todi, for example, technically speaking, Todi is just Phrygian. Sa, Rivan, Gatu, Mavan, Pa, Dhavan, Nitu and Sa. But the point is, we are using when we are doing Avarohana slides, descent slides, we will be using some notes more than these Phrygian scale notes to get the power of the Todi raga. But again, that's the point. Those are phrases which you have to learn for the raga. And when you want to improvise for a raga, naturally it is much better when you have that kind of a vocabulary, phrasal vocabulary, instead of just knowing the rules. Gaga Papa Thapa Sasa, that is how the Mohanam Geetham Varavina starts, right? If it is just scale wise, it sounds like Gaga Papa. Not good enough. That's why we put two slide rules there. Ga, ga, papa. The repeating ga, the second ga has to be played as a slide from the re. Papa, two repeating bas, usually sa and pa don't get any janda kind of moves, right? So as a re, that is where this repeating ga, the second ga getting a slide came from. It is part of the janda varise exercises. Okay. After the pa, then comes the tha. It is not enough to hit on the A note directly. After the Pa, when the Tha comes, Tha is an Arohana. That's an ascent. Arohana, when the Tha comes in Arohana, it has to be played as a Pasadha or Thasada, whichever way you look at it. So I play the Tha and get to the Sa. This is an example of how we have a phrase. We use the rules of Arohana, Avarohana of Mohanam and get this done, right? In the case of Mohanam, this is more than enough. This kind of gamakams are more than enough. When you go to Varnam Ninnukori, you will have a lot of slides, because one reason why you have a lot of slides is like each syllable, it is not just one swara. It is possible that Ninnukori, that long re itself has a lot of swaras within it, so that when we have to play it as a song, we have to use a lot of slides, slurs and everything. so that it sounds correct, and all the swaras are included in the particular syllable. So things get complicated. Like I said, Mohanam, if you observe the rules and play like this is good enough. But theory always came after music. It is always good that you listen to some really good singer or performer or someone and learn the phrases by themselves. Of course, you have the power of the rules behind you to back you up, but don't just depend on the rules. Because after all, this is a vocal tradition thing. Even any kind of music, the feedback, how it comes out when we play, how it is heard, are we playing the way it is sung? That is important. So listen to the final product from somebody who is authentic. Try to get it. Knowing these rules, the grammar of it will naturally help us decide and correct ourselves and be sure about what we are playing. But the real phrases can be beyond this. And like I said, there are ragas like Thodi, and even in the case of Natai, though technically we are just playing Sa Re 3 Ka, to play the Re 3 slide, how we are touching the Re 2. We're doing that. Even like I said, in the case of Thodi, though technically it's just Phrygian, there are more notes in the lower Sa Re, Re 1, Re 2, Re 3, that part. There are more notes coming up when we do the Avrohanam. So coming back again to the question of how do I learn to play ragas? Choose some ragas which are popular, which we are already familiar with. See, Shankaravarnam is not probably the starting raga. We start with Malahari or Mayamalagola. We hear Mohanam. We even play Hamsathvani, Kalyani, and Shankaravarnam Kirtanam. In fact, I learned it much later than any of these other ragas. Alaipai, they made famous Kannada, Raga Kannada. That is one of those ragas where the melodic rules are also important, in the sense like it is basically Karagarapriya Dorian. But the way it is played, that slow slides will make us give us the hint that it's Raga Kannada. Even and again, in Kannada also we are just using the Dorian notes, nothing extra, nothing outside is taken up. Karagarapriya notes exact, but because of the melodic slide rules, it is Raga Kannada. So if you want to improvise on Raga Kannada, be sure that we understand, okay, which kind of melodic slide rules make it Kannada and make it separate, distinguish it from Karagarapriya or Ritikavala or Shri. All of them, Ritikavala and Shri, are also Karagarapriya Janyas. So just like learning a language, rules will help, but beyond that, there are phrasal verbs, there are idiomatic expressions and all this kind of stuff. Similarly, it is always good, if you like a raga, if you like a music, being able to play it, transcribing it is so much important, with all the details and all the exceptions. At least in this kind of music, the details and the exceptional details is what makes it sound the way it has to. So it is always good to pick up. There are Geethams, Malahari Geethams are there, 4 of them. Kalyani Geetham is there. You can just check, give a search for Geethams and you will find the list of swaras and everything. But like I said, listen to some good teacher or good performer singing those songs. That is the best way to learn. Improvisation on any of these ragas. For example, one more example, we'll take Hamsathvani, which is again a derivative from major scale. Mohanam has Sariga Padasa, that is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 8 from the major scale. Hamsathvani has Sariga Panisa, that is 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 and 8. This is the basic scale, right? When you're improvising, for example, in Varnams or anything, you will see a lot of melodic patterns like Saga, Ripa, like that. You have made a melody, found a melodic pattern. In this melodic pattern, it's we will notice that some singers, they sing it without any special slide rules, because it's all right. They are still sticking within the scale, and then the slides are not, all of them are not played there, but still we are sticking within the raga, Hamsathvani, Sariga, Panisa. Just using the scale notes, we can improvise as we wish by understanding the positions like. But again, I know that I can play. That is like Vadabi. Vadabi is Hamsathvani Kirtanam, and because I have played that Kirtanam, I know that playing that is alright within Hamsathvani. Because why shouldn't the other option is a long slide and playing the Raga. That's also probably alright. But I am sure that this is alright because I have played it in Vadabi. Like that part. So again, it is always better Take some simpler compositions, Geethams or something, or even take just 10 phrases from a raga, try to play it exactly, authentically mix and match. Authentic, I mean within the raga, including all the phrasal exceptions and phrasal ornamentations and everything, not just dry rules. Hope that was helpful.